I did not see one single-handed negative thing IShowSpeed said about China. Maybe they only kept them in the limelight of all the beautiful things China had to offer, but China got a dark side. I'd have been to parts of rural China where they taking shit in front of a Walmart, holding a baby into a trash can. Yeah, that's the China they don't want you to see.
Yo, X.
It's been a
Where you
minute.
been?
What's up, my
Where
boy?
you been, boy? Where you been at, man? I found you like Waldo, bruh. How you cooling?
Boy, if I told you where I've been, you probably wouldn't believe where I've been because boy, I've been everywhere, man.
Hey, you on your Carmen San Diego, huh?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out this now and figure out where I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be living. But I'm
You
still
ain't
trying.
living right, huh?
Nah, I mean, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself. I mean, we took a little vacation. I can't even say vacation. We took a little hiatus, got our things together,
Hiatus.
and now we back here.
We are on two shades of black, baby. Hey,
You see?
speaking about traveling, bro. Speaking about traveling,
Yo,
you
hit me.
notice one of these like big name creators and streamers and yada yada kind of acting wild over there on the in the other side of the country, other side of the world.
I think we see a bunch of
Not
we see a bunch of content creators nowadays who's just traveling and trying to be like Carmen San Diego, let alone Dora the Explorer. Did you talk about that Black Negro Speed?
that man speed, man. What that brings us in to our first question or first topic.
But whoa,
I
whoa,
got I
whoa,
gotta
whoa, whoa,
ask
whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa.
whoa,
Before
what?
we jump into it, we
Okay.
promised our audience that we was gonna start, introducing some sake. I
That
see
is
yours
right.
right now, bro. I see yours right there.
Hey, thank you for
Okay.
the order, brother. Balling
Oh,
on a budget.
I
We
saw
go.
mine too.
Hey, sponsorship at its
Woo-hoo! Let
finest.
me tap
Moving
that
on
bottle
up
because
like
it
the
was so
Jeffersons.
naughty. Sit up.
Oh, smack it again.
Yeah. But we promised everybody in the audience that we was gonna bring some sake out, and
Yeah,
my
yo.
boys over at Sipped Global went ahead and gave me the blessing to start doing some tasting. I'm gonna bring a little bit of taste to your boy Jordan. Go ahead and taste them
Appreciate you.
out. Not everybody is keen to the sake world. He got himself sake. He got a craft to hold his sake in a sake glass. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. But today, what we got is Yamawa. For those, if you ever see it in the stores, it got the little pearl on it. For those who know the
Yes,
little
sir.
pearl, it got the pearl, the oyster on it. Always got to find that pearl, and it's called
Yes,
For
sir.
Oyster. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Yamawa For Oyster is from the prefecture of Miyagi, and for those who's not familiar with Miyagi, it's north of Tokyo. It's right between like Sapporo and Hokkaido area and Tokyo. It's right above what's it? What's that place that got bombed? It sound bad. It was Nagasaki and
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, but this one is Fukushima. Might be Fukushima. Yeah. No, but it'll be Fukushima. But either way, outside of that, this is where this brewery is from. It is a great taste. But before I start breaking down the profiles and everything like that, I want you to go ahead and pour yourself a glass and then,
I got you.
let me know what your initial taste is. So, are you familiar with tasting alcohol?
No, this is my first time just tasting alcohol.
Okay. And I don't mean like okay, you've never tasted alcohol. For those who, it's not
I know
like
what you
this
mean,
is
like
your first
tasting.
alcohol, but there's simple things that you want to make sure. There's three stages of it that you want to kind of fully understand. You got your nose,
Hmm.
then you got your palate, and then you got your finish. And what I mean
Okay.
by the palate is going to be basically how it sits on your tongue. It's going to be like it's a bunch of things that's going to happen. So first, go ahead and get your nose in. Tell me what you smell when you're smelling it.
It's kind of hard to describe, X, but
Go ahead
it
and try to give me a give
smells.
me give me an idea.
It smells. I mean, honestly, it smells wine in a sense. It smells like a certain type of wine.
All right. So what?
No,
Let me know what it is. Like, is it fruity? Is it?
I don't. I would say fruity. I would say like a fruit smelling like I don't know. I'm not a drinker, so this is like super raw for me.
And I
Like I
understand that for a
mean,
lot of people. So, what I mean by smelling it, I mean it is like, all right, do you smell it in a fruity sense? Do you smell floral? Do you smell earthy? Those are kind of like the key notes that when you're smelling any kind of alcohol, those are going to be your key notes that you get off the off rip.
I would say more of a fruit smell than an earthy smell,
Okay.
personally.
All right. Cool. And you know what? Everybody smells things differently. And so what you smell is not necessarily wrong. But once you start to go and smell different fruits, different types of Japanese fruits all around the world, different things that they make these sakes out of, you'll start to be able to distinguish these as you start to learn more about sake. And who knows,
It gives me
by
a
the end
grape.
of our tour, you might be able to tell me what's inside some of these things.
Hey, I love that for me.
All right, so go
All right,
ahead
ready for the
and
taste?
take your first sip. Don't swallow. Pause. Don't swallow. Don't
Yeah,
swallow.
I already
Just
starting to get
like
us
just
canceled.
let it roll off your tongue and kind of give it and let it sit in your mouth.
Just stop. Let me just taste the sake.
Okay,
You're
go ahead and
making it
taste the
worse.
sake.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you taste anything?
Um, hmm. This sake reminds me of a flavor of wine to me.
Okay.
This is
Is it
somebody
dry?
who is
Is it
a
sweet? What is your thoughts?
it's a little mixture of both. It gives me a mixture of a little bit of dry, but more on the sweet side. It's hard to really explain, but it gives me a little bit of both when I taste it.
Okay.
Like you know how like some red wines are kind of drier, and then you kind of get your wine that made like Pinot, right? Like it kind of got a little sweetness to it. It has a mixture of both, and I like it. It tastes really good. Like I think this can really attract someone who that has different types of palates. It gives you a different flavor because I
Good.
feel like it hit in both structure. It hits
Would you
both
say it's on?
spectrums.
And right now you don't have anything to compare it to, so I'm not going to be asking you. Do
No.
you feel it's more sweet? Do you feel it's more acidic? Because you honestly don't have anything to compare it to. So this is your first tasting. So
Yeah.
the cool, dope thing about it is a little bit of history on sake. So let me start it off real quick, and then we'll wrap it up and get into our first topic. When you start going into sake, its major part of it is the polishing technique of the rice. And the polishing technique is what allows you to kind of understand where this rice is going to be. And what I mean by that, it's essentially the more that it's polished, the higher end it may be, depending, but it's going to be a lot more delicate. So you're going to get less sweetness and more acidic. Because as you know, with rice, you
Okay.
got the glucose, you got the little center glucose that turns into starch, and that's what's going to turn it into basically the sweetness.
Okay.
All right. So the more it has in it, the more it's going to be sweeter. But outside of that, a lot of these Japanese individuals, when they're doing their brewery, they be chefing it up. They be throwing some different things in it. They throw algae. I mean, not algae. They throw koji, which is a bacteria that makes it ferment. Then they ferment it. Oh, it's a whole science. And when I tell you the Japanese got this down to literally the minute when they're supposed to pull it out and they know the taste they're supposed to expect because they've been doing this since they was little kids, tradition from tradition from tradition. So if you ever go to Japan and you want to visit the Yamawa brewery, it's out there. Go ahead and go to Miyagi and you can go ahead and taste it out. They got a whole portfolio coming to America. And if y'all want to find out what else is in circulation out of them, check out their website. Check out sipglobal.com and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. And we're going to taste through a good amount. And I think at the end, after we taste the first series, I'm going to have you go through a flight of them and tell me which one you think is the best out of it. So make
Oh.
sure you keep that bottle safe because that's where we're going to be with it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is you better hope your bestie don't get sticky fingers. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So back to where we was talking about. We just was talking about Japan. So now we're gonna jump
Yep.
over to China, and we're gonna talk
Yep.
about. I believe you was talking about IShowSpeed. So go ahead and let me know what you was about to say.
Hey, you and I would say, are pretty intelligent young brothers. You know, a
The
little something
comments
slight,
might
right?
say otherwise. The comments might say I talk too damn much, but I like to think
You
I'm
do
still
talk
a
too
little.
damn much. Just saying,
You know what?
you drink some sake. Drink some sake.
I'll drink
Let
so
me
I can
look. See,
shut up.
see, look. There you go. Want to keep talking again? Just shut the hell up. No, but all jokes aside, man, I one thing we both know is a little bit of we try to have our know, ears to the street and noticing things about different parts of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
We noticed something that that's your speed. I mean, people gonna understand this one, but I think Bull had a level 5 clearance from the Chinese government the way he was maneuvering out there. So I really don't have a lot of thoughts on this, but I want to know your opinion. I want to know, like, how do you think he got away with all that? Or, like, do you think, because from what I remember, don't they got a censorship over there on some of the things that you can and can't do? And I'm pretty sure Bull was wilding.
You know what? This is actually kind of it's funny because like a lot of content creators don't really go over to China because of the censorship
Hmm.
and because they have their own platforms that they do and they
Hmm.
can't control outside platforms because they can't dictate what can be said and what can't be said on their platform.
Hmm.
Do I believe IShowSpeed had level 5 clearance or he spoke to the Chinese government before going in? Hell yeah. Absolutely hell yeah. And here's why
Elaborate,
I'm gonna
bro.
say, because ain't nobody, unless you have, and the thing about it is, I could be pulling this completely out of my ass. And what I mean by I could be pulling this completely out of my ass, because it's like being in the status of IShowSpeed when you have 38 million followers on YouTube alone, and that's the only platform he fuck with right now.
Okay.
You got all in the day and the age where you got Twitch, you got Kick, you got YouTube, you got Facebook, you got all these different social media platforms in which people are going famous on. This man decides to stay on YouTube. Then he
Hmm.
decides to announce that he's going to China.
Yeah.
You don't just go to China out of the whim. China, you need a visa.
Mm.
You
Okay.
need to check in. It's like going to the hood and you got to check in with
You
the
gotta check
OG.
into LA,
To
the
hell yeah,
streets,
you
the
got to check
Crips.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, to be or in order to travel all around China, it wasn't just one city that he stopped in. My dog Speed went to like 6, 7 different spots within China, and that ain't easy to do. I mean, yeah, you got a visa for 10 years when you get your visa for China,
Okay.
but to be able to use not only a satellite, but you over here using a VPN. You over here walking in the public. You over here working with some of the top performers in China, and you're broadcasting everywhere where there's government officials everywhere. You have crowds of people in the streets. You got bodyguards. You got there's no way you ain't running by Winnie the Pooh.
Did you really just call this person Winnie the Pooh?
Ain't that his nickname? Anyways, what I'm saying is this. Yes, I think he had to check in because you're not, and I don't think based off the stream that I watched, I did not see one single handed negative thing IShowSpeed said about China.
That's true.
And because it was no negative, maybe I've been to China.
Okay.
I maybe they only kept them in the limelight of all the beautiful things China had to offer, but China got a dark side. I've been to parts of rural China where they taking shits in front of a Walmart, holding a baby into a trash can. Yeah, that's the China they don't want you to see. Am I saying China's bad? Absolutely not. China got some dope nightlife. China got great fashion. China got basketball, everything America can offer, but it's just censorship. I also feel like it was a propaganda play where the
Mm.
simple fact was it's showing China in a different light, especially to his core fan base of America. If you really think about it, Americans are gravitating to IShowSpeed. This man has millions and millions of American fans. What's the best way to show that China is not the enemy? By bringing your biggest streamer to China to not only sit in the world's first flying car. This man went to go visit a lot of the YouTube stars that are based in China that Americans are watching through and through. So these are all collaborations to hype up China. Do I say he's wrong for doing it? Hell no, get your bag. If China over here paying you and you getting even more fan base out of China, China got the most population and you getting more fan base out of that, you better get your bag. That's all I got to say to that. You better get your bag. Cheers to you, Mr. Speed. Shoot, I hope you see this and you go ahead and say, solid.
Well said, man. I mean, like I said, I don't have much I want to really speak on it, but
let me ask you this.
I mean,
If you don't have much to speak on it, but I'm going to ask you in this facet. What would be your opinion of China from what you've learned to this day?
I mean, personally, X, I just think that when we're talking about China overall, I think there's from being in school, I remember being in college, and my first thing of understanding was when I was in class, we were learning about how the censorship of like YouTube and Google was set in regards to what people can watch or do. And I can't really sit here and say that made me like look differently towards them. But I will say it made me think like, all right, well, we live in the land of the free. We can watch a lot of stuff that we probably shouldn't be watching. And meanwhile, these people over here that tend to be, we got everything from China, right? That's just the stereotype. Everything's made in China, but these people have to follow this type of way of life. And it's like, man, if you ain't following those rules, it may not be the best place to be. I think it's something where it's like it may just come off as a place that's a dictatorship, right? And that's just an unbiased
What do you mean may come off? It
feeling.
is a dictatorship. They got one single leader.
But again, I'm going off of what's being transpired.
Gotcha. What's
here.
in our history books, what is being taught to us.
Exactly. Gotcha. Not necessarily what is actually shown, but given the fact that this American was able to go over there and know, live his best life, it either gives us hope that it's not that bad, or it gives us that, some people just get the green light. Just like whenever you got a coach, I'd be like, all right, Jay, you can shoot from anywhere. You got the green light. But meanwhile, you grab the ball, pass it. Pass the ball to Tucker. No, no. You're not building a house today. We're not building a house with those bricks of yours. I just think it just varies, man. But that's pretty much all I got to say on it, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm well versed in regards to that culture, nor do I want to be like incorrect on it.
And no, I got you. And with me, I don't give two damns. I could be wrong and still pretend that I'm right. You ain't gonna see. Hold on. I'm gonna have to check you. Cause ever since these motherfuckers have been in my comments talking about I talk too much, or the show would have been better if this nigga knew how to keep quiet. Yeah, this about to be a nigga moment. Cause I'm getting sick and tired. And look, God. This might bring me to our next conversation. But at the end of the day, I got a right to say what the hell I want to say. Especially if I got a guest that comes onto my podcast and want to talk to us and say what they got to say. I could format it. And yes, I understand I'm saying I, and it's our show. And you know what? Jordan is usually not the talkative individual that I am. And I quite understand that. But at the end of the day, if you feel some type of way and you feeling kind of froggy, then leap, motherfuckers. Y'all want to be all in my comment box and talking all this yippee yap. But you the main, you know what? I ain't even going to do it. I ain't going to do it. Because you know why? I'm the one here having these conversations with their fans watching us. So I appreciate y'all putting the hours on our YouTube page. I appreciate y'all going ahead and hitting the like button and supporting the female guests that we have that come on to our show. I appreciate y'all going ahead and putting in that view so more people can go ahead and see me talk. I said it the way I wanted to say it, and that's how I meant it. So I appreciate y'all. But that brings us to the next conversation. Oh, you want some? You got something to say?
Nope. Nope. You keep talking.
Well, hell, it brings me about that. It brings us to our next statement. Everybody got something to say. That's why we made the podcast, is it not? We have these conversations anyways when we talk on the phone every now and then. So why not videotape ourselves having these conversations anyways? So it brings us to the next topic, and I guess I'll bring it up.
Bring it up.
We got a podcast. So why the hell has everybody else got a damn podcast? Is that what you meant? Was that the topic? Did I say it
Yeah.
right?
Hey. The thing is, man, why is everyone doing them podcasts, even including us, man? And you know what, X? I think there's a few reasons why. And I'll start off. Monkey see, monkey do. People see things, they want to see people, they just want to. Don't do that because the comments are going to kill us with
Oh yeah.
that. Yo, black ass.
Hey, Mighty Joe Young.
Oh man, no, but it's one of those things, dude. I sit back and it's like, all right, this person got a podcast, that person got like, and a lot of them are dope. Like one of my favorite basketball players, Carmelo Anthony, got a
Oh, I
podcast.
like
LeBron
that one.
James podcast.
I don't care for
Over the
LeBron
Arenas
James.
podcast. But everyone has a podcast. Shannon Sharp got a podcast. All these podcasts are coming out, and it's like then we got people like ourselves or building our own brand. Even shows that I even used to watch, like from Boy Meets World. They got the people, the creators or the actors on there have their own podcast. Well, a
Oh,
few
they
of them.
do?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was actually when I was driving through the Florida, Maitland Ward was on their podcast. He joined them, and it got kind of crazy between her and Topanga.
Oh,
They kind of got
me
into
some
it.
Topanga. Topanga used to make me
Hey,
moist.
Topanga,
I
hey, you gotta listen to that. Topanga got some brownie points in my mind, in my eyes. She's with that. She's with that, dog.
Oh wait, they
Anyway,
podcast Freaky Freaky?
no, she was real. Her and Maitland Ward were going at it.
Oh,
Like they were going
bumping
back and forth.
heads.
Yeah,
Oh, I might need to
yeah,
go ahead and check out that podcast. What is called?
yeah. Pod meets World.
Pod meets. Oh, that's kind of clever.
Yeah, it's her, Will Friedle, and Ryder Strong, the actors that played the Eric,
So, so Eric or
Sean, and
Sean?
Topanga.
Oh, okay.
Eric, Sean, and Topanga all three of them on there. So, but going like that's just like part of what I'm saying. Like everyone has a podcast, and I think that a lot of people are doing it because no offense to you, a lot of people want to get things off their chest. They want to say stuff that they typically don't have a chance to and create the platform. I mean, shoot, Tyler Perry, why did he make his stuff? Tyler Perry made his stuff because people weren't hiring actors like himself in Hollywood. He built his own Hollywood.
Oh, I
You know
thought
what I
he was
mean?
just trying to
So,
be Tubi before Tubi existed.
I mean, even so, it's still a platform. I
True.
mean, I'm not trying to be no Tubi actor or nothing like that, but you
Hey,
know,
hey, that man employed a lot of black people, so I power to him.
but hey, again, you know, everyone has to start somewhere and everyone has something. And it's either going to become something more or something less. And I think, man, overall, I think that people just want to have a platform and have something to say. And they don't know how to say it anywhere else. So like, why not just start something off?
So then my
Some
question
people like to be
is,
controversial.
so let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you this. Does that mean, is it like the same way that how many podcasts we got out there that everybody just feels like they got an opinion that they believe people want to hear about,
Mm.
even if the podcast ain't any good?
Yeah, like ours, it's trash, but people still listen to it.
Do they? I
But
thought we was just talking to each
probably
other half
not.
the time.
Sometimes it feels like it. I need more Shocky. I need more
Hey,
Shocky.
and you know what? I don't do it for the people. As much as I want to say I appreciate them watching, I do it for the love of it. I like to talk shit. I like to say what's on my
Clearly.
mind. And you know what? I like to bring beautiful people onto the platform and talk about their life, even though I can't get them to say one word because I'm always cutting them off. But
Yeah, maybe you should
eventually,
stop.
I'm gonna figure out the balance.
I mean, I think that all comes with it, but I mean, just to finish up my portion of the question, I truly do believe, X, that it really comes down to people do believe they have opinions, and a lot of people believe that they have something that may be worthwhile, and they try to provide their insight. I think that everyone has an opinion. Now it's all about what your audience believes is like, okay, I mess with what Jordan's saying, I mess with what X is saying, or I don't like any one of them, but I'm gonna keep watching because I want to see someone say something stupid one day, or I want to keep hearing him cut off the female, guest. I don't know. Maybe they just want to hear your voice. But at the end of the day, man, you can't. The best thing you can do is be you, and have fun with it. But
You're right.
hey, what about you? What do you think?
I mean, like you kind of hit the nail on the head. Everybody got an opinion, I do believe, and I feel like everybody believes that they can be entertaining. And what is
Hmm.
the easiest way to pretend, not pretend, but give people the perception that you're entertaining by finding topics to discuss to potentially get them to be entertained enough to stick around and continue to follow you. We are in a
Yeah,
sheep world where if they get any kind of enjoyment out of what you got to talk about, you may have a loyal fan for life. We
that's
absorb
true.
so many things nowadays through social media and through people who, and it's not a bash at podcasts, but it depends on what the podcast is. So you mentioned Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Pod Meets World. All of these are based off of topics and conversations in which they've already lived their life, and that they're bringing the real world
Experiences.
into it. Exactly,
Yeah.
experiences. Same way when we talk about it. How many different podcasts are already out there that talk about relationships? Thousands and thousands of them. But the funny thing about it is, it sometimes depends on what's their motivation. You got people out here who build a podcast to get the next great deal, or to be signed by Shay Shay Media, or these to get to the next level. Then you got some people
Yeah.
like Tonight Conversation, which I thought was an amazing podcast that was performed in front of a live audience. It was a bunch of people that couldn't get their shit together and had something great and let money come between all of them. And now that podcast is
Really?
gone. They was
Oh,
truly
really?
helping individuals out. Now, don't get me wrong, I still gonna follow Fontaine. Brother speaks the word of the Lord through the way he puts things in. Am I gonna follow him? Yes. Is he gonna have his own single podcast? Absolutely. I appreciate the words that he spit. But I come back to, and I digress, with the podcast, everybody feels like their experience should be known in this world. Am I against podcasts being out there? Absolutely not. Everybody got a channel, everybody got a niche, everybody got a lane that they can fall into. I don't believe it can ever be saturated, because at the end of the day, everybody has a different topic, a different side of themselves that they love to indulge in. And because they like to indulge in that, they're going to find a podcast, or they're going to find an individual that's going to capture that interest that they're looking for. And it's going to be essentially the next best thing for them. You can have 10 different podcasts that you listen to. Look at a professional. A professional is a self-help build. You got sales podcasts. You got how to make friends podcasts, where they all overlap on top of each other to create a greater human. You don't need just one
Hmm.
podcast to give you everything. You got a podcast for every single thing you think about. And especially if you're looking for a yes man, you got crazy people out there who's looking for a podcast that's gonna, solidify or confirm the crazy things that they talking about. Or you got podcasts that's gonna help somebody get through tough times. You got so many different things. Keep making the podcast. And if you ain't make your podcast yet, go buy a camera, go buy a microphone, turn that thing on, and start talking to the people. Because you know what? There's somebody out there that you can help today. So if you got a podcast in mind, just go ahead and do it. That's all I got to say to that.
Oh, I mean, you bring up something about everyone having a podcast, and that kind of brings into my next question. Like, you think this is just a phase, or you think it'll be a trend, like, or this will be a trend for like the next 10 years?
I think it's going to be longer than 10 years.
You think this is going to be something that's going to continue and grow for a very long time?
Absolutely. And you know why?
So,
Everybody.
wait,
So
wait, wait. Time out, X. Time out.
go
Before
ahead.
you answer that, do you think that podcast is going to kind of take over the new like radio and TV?
Well, in all honesty, has not radio become podcast now?
True.
If we really thinking about it, one of my favorite radio stations are now on YouTube, and I can get the whole episode on YouTube. DJ Envy and Charlemagne. It is a radio station that is now bridging both gaps of podcasts, of video podcasts. They having conversations, they having news segments, they have the whole thing you need. But that's one factor of the entertainment world. So do I believe that it's going to be here 10 years from now? Absolutely. Because look at CNN, NBC, CNBC, all of these been around for 20, 30 years. We don't trust those news stations no more. We go straight to podcasts. Look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the leading podcast person in all of the world.
It's crazy. I just don't understand how. Like, I remember him from Fear Factor.
But here's the thing, Joe
like,
Rogan,
he took off.
He took off because the type of guest Joe Rogan brought on. He brought individuals, not just people who is going to feed his ego, but he also had conversation with people that were on the other side that they can have an intellectual conversation. And when you can have that intellectual conversation with people that are on opposite sides of you, it makes for great content. So to tell me, podcast has already been around for what? 10 years, 15, 20 years already? Look what YouTube started doing. Joe Rogan's been doing this for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Do I imagine Joe Rogan going to continue to be doing it? Absolutely, Joe Rogan going to be doing it for another 10, 15 years. That man barely doing UFC fights now. He's focused on his own brand. And the beautiful thing about podcasts, it is a brand. And when it's a brand, you have loyal followers. And when you have loyal followers, is exactly. Yamawa, make sure y'all go cop it. Anyways, I digress back. But as long as you got that brand and you got loyal followers and you're putting out good content that's going to keep them around, you're going to be around 10 plus years, in my honest opinion. Because, look, I don't know about you. You watch anime, right? You watch One Piece.
Absolutely.
You've been watching One Piece for how long?
I'm a late bloomer, but I've been on it for a minute, though.
Okay. And it's not a diss to One Piece, but when you watch One Piece, would you say a lot of their episodes are sometimes repetitive?
I think that whole show and jump comic is, though. It's all similar.
But you can almost assume what's going to happen. So therefore, but yet you're still ready to watch it. So I bring it back to the podcast. Yes, you know who the host is. You know how they're going to act. Look at me. You already know when you log into 2 Shades of Black, I'm about to be a donkey. I talk too much. I'm about to say out of pocket shit. But you know what? There's the reason why there's 2 Shades of Black. I already knew when we started this show I was going to be the villain. I said it on the first episode. I'm going to be the villain.
You're the bad guy, huh? You're the bad guy.
I'm the guy everybody don't like, and the comments already saying it. And you know what? I take my seat with pride. So as we
nice
start,
and toasty.
It is. As we start this journey, though, I hope we do have fans that stick around 10 plus years as we bring out more and bigger and better guests. Right? What about you? I guess let me ask you this. I digress so I can stop talking about it.
Yeah, thank God.
Shut up.
Gee Willikers, man.
Oh, be quiet. Oh, be quiet. I don't need you in my comments over here sounding like Luffy.
Oh, Troll 69. Yeah,
all right.
Guy, he really
but what about
sucks.
you? What about you? You think podcasts will be around the next 10 years?
I think podcast is going to be the new wave, honestly. And that's why I'm excited to do this and continue to grow.
I think it is.
Let me finish. Let me explain.
No, I need to interrupt you.
See, obviously, clearly, this is why this doesn't work. This is why they hate you. No, but on some real shit though, like when we're talking about this, it's like the new wave of how to bring in content. It's the new wave of how to get your stuff out there, your material. A lot of it's not just the host. It's the creators that come on. It's the artists. It's the actors. It's the politicians. Everyone has a chance to really voice their opinion. Like when you watch sports stuff, or like you go and watch on ESPN. Like Stephen A. Smith, he's on there with Disney on ESPN. And when he go on his podcast, he's saying all types of bad words. He's saying naughty words. He's saying really naughty words. And dude,
they can't say nothing about it. That's his platform.
Exactly.
And
But it
people are
gives
making
him
their
that light.
real quick. People are making their platform as another source of industry. I mean, source of income. So if the mainstream industry get rid of them, what you think? I still got my platform.
That is true. It gives that light. So when I was watching the pivot with Ryan Clark and them,
Yeah.
and one of the episodes had Anthony Mackie on there as he was talking about like him being a Captain America. And it was just really cool seeing how he was as an actor and legit just being himself. You know what I mean? Hanging out with the homies, like just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get these people on there, I think it just gives that platform. So do I think this is going to be? I don't think this is like a fad. I think this is something that's here to stay. And I think everyone, if you want to catch the most, not gonna say reliable, but just the most real source of news and things that are going on and trends and different avenues of music and culture and different things overall, this is the wave. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I think how the podcast and platforms are set up will change. How everything is created will change because everything adapts. It's just how it goes. When you think about it, we used to have Vine. Now it's TikTok.
But the
And
same
before that,
concept
there's
though.
something else.
The
It is
concept
the
is
same
the
concept,
same
but it
concept.
it still changed. It's still you still gotta adapt. Like either
Evolving.
you're gonna be yeah, you're either it's gonna evolve. It's either you're gonna be funny there and be funny here, or you were just only funny for that little bit of time and you had your 15 seconds of fame and you a has been, or you adapt, you evolve with the times and continue to move.
That's
I mean,
how I
like
be
you
feeling
said, like Joe
sometimes.
Rogan been around for over 10 to 15 years doing this podcast stuff. He's seen the platforms that he's on. He's seeing how to do it, and then, like you said, he's getting these guests on here to allow him to, go back and forth. And I think you and I have discussed this. Now we can start. We'll bring on more people, but we got to still get our way and our dynamic out there and learn how to mesh with each other before we just over here just like putting random people on. But at the end of the day, this is like these are the episodes that are going to show people like, oh, this is how J and X grew. This is how they became what we
Oh,
see
this the
them for now.
come
Like
up.
so, like right now, like when we're recording this, I'm excited to see how this looks 5 years from now. Are we still here? Are we still maneuvering? What is how many? Who are we bringing on now? What are we doing? How are we doing it? And I'm excited to see how it go.
As am I.
But
You know what I need to? And I'm gonna jump off topic here real quick. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I might just get us some green screens and then just make it into one big screen so it look like we're together, but we're really in a green screen. So we're like in the same
I don't
room.
want to be together with you. No.
We go together like top top do shoot be do. Yeah, I messed up that whole Grease song, but but either way. So we got a big announcement coming. Next
Oh boy! Oh boy!
episode
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
we are going to be talking about traveling. And on that episode of traveling, I mean, we might as well just let them know what we about to be doing, can we? Or should they wait till next week?
Wait till next week. Wait till next week.
You
Let them
sure?
know.
All right, so here's the little cliffhanger teaser. So we about to go ahead and get our passports ready. I'm bringing out the
Passport
Louis
Bros.
Vuitton
Passport.
bag. I'm bringing out
Passport Bros.
the suitcases because your boy is getting his camera ready and we about to go and explore some places. And when I
Oh
say
boy!
we
Oh boy!
about
Oh boy!
to
Oh boy!
explore some places, we got a lot in store for you because you know I loves to travel and I'm already a donkey. I'm
Passport
bringing
Bro.
this dude over here. It's
Hey,
gonna be
gang,
his
gang.
first time leaving the soils of the United States.
I'm so excited.
And
I'm
that
so excited.
means we about to plan some big things.
All right, I'm ready.
We got
Birth
special
control what? No, I'm
guests.
just
I'm
kidding.
getting color. Look at
I'm
it. Look,
kidding.
I'm
I'm
on the
kidding.
edge of my seat. We got special guests. We may even do some. I'm thinking about even doing a live show. I'm talking about.
Got to.
And when I say a live show, I mean we gonna be out wandering the streets of this country we going to, live in color. and there ain't no cuts, ain't no. It's about to be real
No
raw and
edits.
uncut, and I meant it in every perverted way possible. So
Yes.
make sure y'all tune in, hit that like, comment, and make sure y'all subscribe to this. Because when we go to that country, you ain't gonna want to miss this out. Because we gonna go live, and when we live,
Trust me.
yo,
Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this.
I might get arrested. That's all I'm saying. You might see Donald Trump
I
have to
hope
come
not.
get my black ass to bring me back to the United States. And I know y'all in the comments talk about don't bring him back. But at the end of the day, your boy about to act a donkey, and I'm bringing him with me. So,
Guess I'll be getting your ass out of jail. All right.
yeah. And you know what? Sometimes you got to learn your lesson. And either way, it's just going to be fun.